And welcome back to the Constitutionals Podcast. I'm your host, Chad White. If you didn't know, this is the premier podcast for the website, cpluscomedy.com. Like I just said, it's a website. Go there, turning myself up or talking louder. We have two options. It is was a rainy Monday morning. Went to the gym. Episode, 203 of the Constitutionals Podcast. Welcome back to it. Let me double check. Go to the website. That's the only way I can check. I took a week off and then took a couple more days off. Yep, episode 203. You know what? I'm better for it. I could not bring myself to do an episode whenever I was supposed to. But now here we are. We're doing it because we have to. Little things about me. What have I been up to? Well, I've just been applying to jobs. So far, no good. I just made 2 videos. One I was asked to make. Another one I did not. I was not asked to make for 2 different potential jobs. And I just thought, you know what? One of these sounds really good, and I should just make a video for it. I might as well just show them what I can do. And so I spent comfortably an hour doing it. Then I sent it out. I wrote professional emails. And they're on Twitter, so I contacted them via the twits professionally. Then I sent it out. I reviewed it and everything. I did it on Premiere and looked at it and reviewed it and put all this crap in it. And then about 10 minutes ago, somebody responded, and I go, great. Then I go back to check my work again, because that's what I do. I watch News Time a trillion times before it goes out. And I notice in the middle of the video, 2 giant mistakes where I'd restarted both times and it's still sitting there. And I went, how did I not notice that the first time? Oh my gosh. Whatever. We all make mistakes. Made a lot of jokes in that video. Not ill-advised jokes, just really, really good. Made myself seem personable and humble. Also, I'm wearing the same shirt that I wore in both videos. So listen. If you are a job person looking to hire, do note I wear the same shirt all day long. On one day I'll wear a shirt all day long. The next day I won't. I'll wear a different shirt. So shirts work, right? Let's get to it. Let's get on right to it, and let's talk about some things that happened last week, such as Lilly Singh leaving the late night game. Yes, it's only been 2 seasons. Not even a full year. Yeah, I would say a full year of her doing this, taking over the Carson Daly slot. She's going to leave late night and go into broadcast. Go into streaming. I was thinking of what part of late night she's in. Into streaming, she's doing a comedy from Kenya Barris over there on the Netflix, which I think is a better suited for her. Now, the first season of the Lilly Singh show was not good. A Little Late with Lilly Singh. Great title, though. I love that title, A Little Late. That's so funny. It's so cute and adorable. And not not saying that she's a woman and it has to be cute and adorable. But I think that was a great title. Just the execution of season 1 was very bad. And then going into it, and they treated it like it was a regular talk show. And then they bulk shot, I would say, the entire season. So they shot like 100 episodes worth of that show in like a month or so. So when all the late night guys, mostly guys, when all the late night hosts weren't doing new shows, her show was still coming out with new episodes like 5 days a week. And I kept going, are they? And they had a crowd, which is what was intense. And I was like, oh my gosh, are they shooting stuff in the pandemic? And then and nobody was talking about this. And then sure enough, they just bulk shot a bunch of stuff. She said in an interview a long time ago. So second season comes around. I read a packet for it. Don't get chosen. And it's very true. That's a true thing that happened. Second season comes around. Again, I read a packet for it. Don't get chosen. And NBC moves her to a house. And that's where they're shooting this stuff. And now it looks more like her YouTube, forgive me for saying this, content. You know what? Better suited. It was a much better show. And I thought it was so, excuse me, I just hit the mic. I'm so emphatic about this. It was a much better show. and she's better suited to shooting in that YouTube style. Because that's where she came from, YouTube, doing her what they call rants, which, yes, I wrote in my packet, which was not chosen. So the show's coming to an end. She was, and she made this point. She said this over and over again. She said she was the only woman in late night. She's the only woman on broadcast in late night. There were in the between her starting her show and her finishing her show, there were more women than you can count, which is like, this is good, a good sign. Sam B, Amber Ruffin. I think when she started her show, who else was there? Anyway, Sam B, Amber Ruffin, Sarah Silverman, Michelle. Oh God, what was her last name? The one with the hair. She played Grown Up Annie on Late Night with Seth Meyers. Late Night with Seth Meyers. It's a great group of people. I love that show. So, 2 seasons is for broadcast talk show. That's more in line with cable talk show, which is whatever. But good for her. The final episode is going to air on Thursday, June 3rd. NBC tried their hand at airing Amber Ruffin's show from Peacock on Friday nights in place of Lily Singh's show, and I can only assume it did decently. That time slot was never going to get. I mean, the thing is with late night on broadcast, that time slot, those time slots after Fallon and after Colbert are just, you're not going to get the biggest presence, and that's why, Corden, he did the Fallon thing, but at 11:45 or whenever that show comes on, 12:50, whenever that show comes on, and it succeeded on YouTube. It succeeded online. For what it's worth. So for this Lily Singh stuff, did Carson Daly's show, were his ratings as good or as abysmal as Lily Singh's? So NBC could potentially be rethinking the slot. This is what Leslie Goldberg over here at Hollywood Reporter says. Samantha Bee, still kicking butt. Amber Ruffin, still kicking butt. So there you go. But you know what? Even if I didn't like the show, and even if I wasn't hired on it, I think this is a very good diversification for late night. So good job, Lily Singh. I was gonna say I'm so proud of you, but I don't know who you are. Again, I was not hired. This next one comes from Engadget, written by I. Bonifacic, Facic. Bonifacic. Yeah, I like that. I like that pronouncing. Netflix explores building an online hub around its original content. There's a thing that is in a customer survey seen by Protocol. I just applied to Protocol. I'm not joking. I applied to them last week. Interesting. Suggests the company is considering creating. You can see how if I don't read these stories ahead of time, it's considering creating a platform called N+. Now these surveys, companies do surveys all the time and ask about things. I believe Sony and Nintendo and Microsoft will do surveys asking things like, do you like touchscreen controllers, or would you like to play more Japanese RPGs? I believe that's one was from a Microsoft Xbox survey, and so these surveys could either point to what the company is looking to do. There's also Apple, their patents get found in patent offices all the time. You'll see with their with that wireless charger they were doing, AirCharge, I don't know what it's called. They went through patents already, and people were expecting this thing to come out, and Apple had talked about it, and then it just never came out because they just couldn't find a way to do it well. For all of Apple's evil tendencies, I think they make a lot of good stuff. Well, hold on. We'll get to that in a second. Just coming from the only Apple thing I own is the iPad. And that's it. So N Plus is going to is could be this kind of hub that's going to include their shows and their movies, of course, but then also things like user generated playlists, how tos, and podcasts, which is interesting. Netflix getting into the podcast game. I would think that they would partner up with somebody to do that, but they're a full fledged media company. And you know what? On The Simpsons last night, there's a new episode of The Simpsons that came on May 9th, 2021. This is this the day after. And it was an episode about, it was one of those episodes where they go to the future and see the future. And Lisa, the story was Lisa is fighting with Marge about what college she's going to go to. And so it's teenage Lisa versus older Marge. And there's a joke that Lisa says, it all became like less competitive after Netflix bought Yale. And I just thought that was so funny. That's such a specific joke. Also because there's a bunch of Harvard writers on The Simpsons, but that's so very funny because Netflix, could buy a school, a mega school. Anyway, Hoosers. Netflix provides the most hints on how the playlist functionality could work. The survey indicates you could put together a list of your favorite show and movies and share them online. The way Netflix positions the feature suggests the company could use it to bring new customers to the service. If viewers are not members, they can only see a trailer of the show itself. The document states the playlist feature could also include support for music. This is something that could be fruitful for them, but I don't think people want another social media service. Netflix already has a huge presence on Twitter and Instagram and YouTube, and that's where people congregate to see that stuff. Because regardless of where they see it, they're all gonna be funneled back into Netflix. But using one app for all that stuff just gets convoluted. Case in point, the Spotify app. I cannot work my way around it. And even though I use YouTube Music, I still go to Spotify to keep everything on parity, to save albums and stuff. And I just don't know how to get around because now they have these podcasts all over the place. And baby, I don't use Spotify for podcasts. The only Spotify podcast I listened to was The Boss and Obama. And I only listened to like 2 episodes. It's just so much. It's so hard to keep up. So N Plus, change the name, first of all, because that is not a name I want to go to. And second, we've got that stuff. So usually it's the part where we take a break, but that requires so much out of me. And we're still recording on the laptop, or recording the camera on the laptop. I don't know what's going on. I got a new phone. Got a new Android phone. It's the S21 Ultra, baby. The most expensive Galaxy right now. I do miss the Pixel. I will tell you that there are things that I miss about the Pixel, but it is so great to have a phone that works. And 5G is great too. Now, you'll remember a couple episodes ago, that I was in the middle of recording a podcast, but in the middle of recording a podcast, I was trying to get an Xbox Series X. And long story short, I didn't get it that day. Smash cut to Thursday. Yeah, this past Thursday. I'm sitting on the computer applying to jobs. Again, I have zero money, but applying to jobs. And I hear an alert on this thing I have on Chrome, this extension that tells me if stuff is in stock, like an Xbox or a PlayStation 5. And I hear the alert, and I see it's going in and out of stock on Walmart. But but since Walmart, it's basically like an Amazon type thing. People are charging $900 for it. And I go, I'm not paying attention to that. Then I get another alert, like a couple hours later, because it's going in and out of stock. I get another alert a couple hours later. I check it, and it says, the regular price is $500. And I go, oh my gosh, they actually have one in. They're actually selling one. So I go, I add it to cart, and it works. It adds to the cart, and it takes me to checkout. All right, cool. I go, well, I guess I'll see how far I can go with this. And I keep going, and then I wait, I'm contemplating. I'm like, should I click buy now? Should I click, and all this stuff. And then eventually I click buy now. After maybe 20, 30 seconds, I click buy now. And it's gone like that. And I go, oh, man, I didn't get it. Well, I didn't really need it anyway. And then maybe 10 minutes later, I get another notification. Same thing, $500. Go to the website, go to Walmart, add it to cart, do the robot. I'm not a robot thing, authenticator, whatever. Go through, and then I click buy now, and it buys, and it says processing, and then it goes, hey, Walmart has your order. And I went, whoa. And then all day long I'm going, you know what, I don't think this is real. This can't be real. Like, they're not going to send me an Xbox. And then I get an email like Friday night, and Walmart says, okay, we have your order, we'll ship it out. And then yesterday I get an email that says it's shipped out, it'll be here on this date. And I went, whoa. So I have an Xbox Series X coming. And what will I do with my Xbox One? Don't know. Maybe sell it to recoup some of those losses. Or, yeah, some of those losses. But hey, you know what? Still need a 4K TV. And that won't happen unless you hire me. Hiring people. All right, let's move on. Good little story about my personal life. Oh, also there's Nova. She's somewhere. Yeah, she's sleeping on that chair behind me. I don't know if you can see it. If the video people can see the little cat. She's somewhere. She's right there. I can see her. That's all that matters. She actually, I took out the trash on a Wednesday. We can just place our trash by the doors. We have little trash people come by. I don't want to say that. That's rude. We have a trash company that comes by. They pick up the trash. Is that better? And I had to, and so they came by. I come out. I what I usually do: open the door, lean out enough so that I can just fit, and pull in a trash can. But I have to open the door to pull in a trash can. So I open the door. She's right there. She sprints out, and I go, Nova! And all in one swift motion, I throw the door all the way open with my left hand, and then throw the trash can down with my right hand, lunge down and grab her with my left hand and just grip as hard as I can. And she's running, and her claws are skidding, and her paws are skidding, and she turns around and she runs back inside. And I am truly shaking. Like I'm like, why did you do that, Nova? As if she could understand me. Why did you do that? How dare you run? And I didn't talk to her for maybe like a whole day. Like when I gave her food, I just placed it down, didn't even look at her. When she tried to cuddle next to me, I didn't. She came in that night. She came into the bedroom and tried to sleep with me, and I rolled over. I can't, Nova. I'm mad at you. So now I keep an eye on her every time I open the door. I'm going to have to do that for the next 15 years? Yeah, I'm prepared to. I'm prepared to do so. Let's move on. So this last section is going to be all about IMDb TV, baby. Now, IMDb TV, Internet Movie Database, is the way. IMDb is the website where you can see if what's in production, casts of shows, crews of shows, just in so many different things. And Amazon bought it a couple of years ago. Why am I talking about this? You ever just step outside of yourself and go, this is so stupid? Okay. So Amazon bought IMDb a couple years ago, and and maybe a long time ago. They bought it a long time ago, but maybe like 1 or 2 years ago, they started IMDb TV, which is a free streaming service that's tied in with their Prime Video. I don't understand why they don't just, get rid of the IMDb TV name and then just make it Prime Video, but and Prime Video free or something like that. Because and that was before. Was that? There was Tubi and Pluto and Crackle have existed for years, and so maybe this IMDb TV thing is just a way to differentiate too. But I don't know. Now we have Peacock, and you can watch that for free or pay to get rid of the ads and also get more shows and movies. But they should just fold IMDb TV into this. But now they have new shows coming to IMDb TV, and that is the truth. Twitch, this comes from Deadline. Twitch, NFL, and IMDb TV push Amazon's monthly ad-supported stream to 120 million viewers from 20 million in January 2020. So there's obviously the pandemic helped bolster those numbers, but that is really, really good for such a young fledgling service. Amazon said that this is from written by Dade Hayes over there at Deadline. He said that Amazon has also said that IMDb TV viewership has risen 138% year over year. Now, keep in mind that the same stuff, mostly the same stuff from IMDb TV can be found on Crackle and Pluto and Tubi. It's just the exclusives that they have, because I think Pluto has Becker, as if anyone's looking to watch Becker. Although I do like Ted Danson, and Crackle has the Don Quixote movie with Adam Driver, made by Christopher Guest, I believe. Is that Christopher Guest? I don't care to look. The company said all of its over-the-top streaming reaches more than 120 million monthly viewers of ad-supported OTT content, up from 20 million in 2020 of January. Amazon called out video game viewing hub Twitch, IMDb TV, and live sports like NFL, Thursday Night Football, 3P Network, and broadcaster apps, and Amazon's news app. I do believe that Amazon set up a deal with the NFL that they get Thursday Night Football in 2023 exclusively. And then it was announced probably like a couple of days later that Amazon, they moved the deal from 2023 up to 2022, which is amazing for, the way these companies work, how quickly this thing happens. About 62% of the service's viewers are between the ages of 18 and 49, and they spend an average of 5.5 hours per week on the service. Probably all watching Mad Men, because Mad Men's the only place you can find it now. IMDb TV will launch this summer on Android and iOS mobile devices. Now, keep in mind that you don't need the app in order to access the shows and movies. You can just, if you have Amazon Prime, you can just subscribe via Prime Video. So subscribe to Prime Video, and then it's all built in there. That free stuff is all built in there. But again, I don't know why they call it IMDb TV. Just go Prime Free Video, and then Prime Video. It just doesn't make sense to me. Or Amazon Video, if you want your name in there. But moving on, continued, IMDb TV orders a Judge Judy TV show. This comes from The Wrap, written by Tim Basinger. Last year, Amazon's IMDb TV was the surprise winner of Judge Judy Sheindlin's follow-up court TV series. There's no premiere date, but the executives are hopeful the new show will be able to premiere sometime this year. Judge Judy has been on, her show since 1996. She had a $47 million salary that put her in the Forbes list of highest paid TV hosts in 2018. She led the syndication ratings for the past 11 years. And so this is a great get for them. But I don't know if people are going to exactly seek that out. Now, I'm not saying that there's not an audience for it, but I mean, come on. She left. People were sad. Well, sad. People talked about it, and then that's it. That's all that happened. But moving on, also from The Wrap, written by Tim Basinger, to IMDb TV to adapt Tegan and Sarah. I've said IMDb TV so many times. They're going to adapt Tegan and Sarah's High School with Clea Duvall. I love Tegan and Sarah. Great, great singers. High School is going to be co-created by the sisters, and it's described as a coming-of-age story of first loves and first songs. It's going to be produced by Amazon Studios and Brad Pitt's Plan B Entertainment. Oh my gosh. It's going to be about, it's going to be set in the 90s. grunge and rave culture. Twin sisters growing up down the hall from one another. Ooh. They also have more shows. There are 5 more projects, which 2 of which I only put down in the thing. They also renewed Top Class for its 2nd season and announced that Leverage Redemption, is that a spinoff of the show Leverage? Also, Leverage is a TV show, I think. Yep, Leverage TV show, American drama. That aired for 5 seasons back in 2008. What network? Oh, TNT. Aldous Hodge was in that show. And that's the only other person that I know. Leverage Redemption. Let's look that up. Leverage Redemption is a reimagined update of the TV series Leverage. It looks like everybody is coming back. Okay, I don't know what Leverage is about. All I know is that I see it sometimes on TNT. And I never think to click on it. So who else has a show? Mike Schur's got a show coming. Written by Leslie Goldberg over at The Hollywood Reporter. Shea Serrano, Mike Schur Comedy in the works at IMDb TV. It's called Primo. It was developed at ABC. And that's it. I mean, you're not going to find much. These are the shows that are in development. You're not going to find much other news. Oh, and then also there's a Dick Wolf show. Yes. The man who created Law & Order, SVU, and Law & Order, Organized Crime with that hot theme song. God, that theme song on Organized Crime makes me want to just go out and fight. That theme song and the theme song from Titans. Ooh, baby. I'm not joking when I say both of those theme songs. Oh, man, if I could listen to those in the gym. Ooh. I also created Chicago and a bunch of other shows. Now he's making a half-hour series called On Call. That'll follow a pair of police officers in Long Beach, California. Written by Leslie Goldberg over at The Hollywood Reporter. This came the same day. Literally the same hours later. NBC had ordered Law & Order Hate Crime. Well, they didn't order it. Hate Crime has already existed. That's going to be probably on Peacock. But Law & Order, it gets a defense attorney's spinoff. And I believe that is called Law & Order for the Defense. That's fun. I love Law & Order. So On Call is going to follow those officers in Long Beach, California. Each episode tracks the duo as they respond to a new radio call, arriving on the scene to resolve an incident. That's it. That's all we got. IMDb TV is really stepping up its game. And of course, they have a bunch of other shows, but they're really stepping up their game when it. I don't know if you guys heard that, but someone just honked The Mess at their horn. Oh, there's a dog that just screamed bloody murder. Oh, that Dick Wolf show is not even part of the 5 that they already announced. So that's a 6th show. That's like 7 shows that they announced on one day. The streaming space is already very populated and polluted. Going from services that are live TV services like YouTube TV, Hulu with live TV, Fubo TV, Sling, Philo, so all that stuff, and then trickle down to just regular traditional streaming, which is Netflix, Hulu, Amazon, Paramount Plus, Disney Plus, and then you got the cable networks turn streaming, Showtime Anytime, HBO Max, Stars, AMC Premiere, and then got the rest. I know I forgot Prime Video and all that stuff. The free stuff, Pluto, Crackle, Tubi, and now IMDb TV, and Roku channels. I don't know if you can get Roku channels outside of Roku. I'm only counting things you can get on your phone, too. So these free streaming services are trying to buoy their way into people who are tired, who have streaming fatigue, which is a term and phrase I hate. But streaming fatigue from having or wanting to, or being forced in some cases because one show exists on one streaming network but not another. So, and having to pay, $75 per month for all these streamers. Jesus, Chad, just hit the microphone. I'm just so emphatic about streaming. But having to pay all this money for streamers, now people are kind of missing the channel surfing aspect, or that's why Chromecast with Google TV and Fire TV and Apple TV. That's why I think those are so special, because you can, or they're really good, devices to use to watch this stuff, is because you're not beholden to one service. Well, in the case of Fire TV, you kind of are. You kind of got to use. They show you the Amazon stuff right up front. But for Google, for Google's Chromecast TV or Android TV, and for Apple TV, they're choosing a show is weaved into the main menus and stuff. And you'll see a Showtime show next to an HBO Max show, next to a Disney Plus show, next to live TV if you have that connected. And I think that's a really special thing. It feels like traditional TV. It feels like the TV that I grew up with, and you grew up with, and everybody else grew up with. But the free stuff especially is attractive and intriguing because it's stuff you already know. It's stuff that you can get elsewhere, but if you see it right there, right in front of you on this service that is streaming 24-hour television such as Pluto, then you're probably gonna watch it there. Now I will say that all the free services do not have good platforms to use. I've never downloaded the IMDb TV app because I only use it on Amazon. And Amazon's already a bad app to go through. I said it. Jeff Bezos. Invite me on your rocket and I'll take it back. Your spaceship. And we'll go to space together, you and me, buddy. The Tubi app, I think, is the better one. You can make a profile. You can make a watch list. It just feels like it's it feels like Hulu. It feels like Netflix. It feels like, Disney Plus. But then you look at the Crackle app, and Crackle's been around Crackle and Hulu were two of the only ones you could watch for free years ago. Crackle's trash, and you can make a watch list, but it automatically plays videos, and everything on there is just not worth watching. And then the Pluto, even though Pluto TV is probably my favorite out of all of them, it, you make a profile online, it doesn't translate to mobile, and it doesn't translate to the Xbox app. It doesn't translate to the PlayStation app. It doesn't translate to the Android app. It doesn't translate to the Apple app. None of those things talk to each other, so you can't make playlists. On-demand stuff doesn't carry over. So it kind of feels like what's the point? But IMDb TV can set itself apart. So what they do to set themselves apart is they're going to make this original programming, these original shows, and they're going to say it's free. These are ads. Please watch. And then for Pluto, since that's a Viacom CBS property, they get the Paramount Plus stuff, and they get AMC stuff. They get stuff that usually you have to pay cable for. But now I can watch IFC, I can watch The Walking Dead, I can watch all the James Bond, all the pre-1990 James Bond movies. So the first 20 probably. First 20 or 19 or 20. And now Tubi's owned by Fox Broadcasting, and so they get, just like on Hulu, the next day after Fox shows. Well, hold on, not The Simpsons, not Family Guy, not that stuff. But they get The Masked Singer, which again would help push that to the top. Because if a person doesn't have on demand, and if they don't want to pay for Hulu, then they can just go to Tubi. A person that enjoys The Masked Singer, then they can just go to Tubi and watch that. So that's how you stand out. And then Crackle is just trash. It's like Sony did well on the PlayStation 4, and then they just turn all their focus to that. And then movies is second, and then music, and then Crackle and all that stuff. Who cares? Okay. That's it. That's all I got for this episode of the Constitutionals podcast. Thank you for listening. If you like what you heard here, if you want to see a video, head on over to youtube.com/C+comedy, where you can see me try to point. You can see the sun gradually come out behind me. Truly. It was raining, and now it's not. I mean, it was raining at 5 a.m. when I was awake and went to the gym, and then it stopped at 9. youtube.com/C+comedy. Head to the website, C+comedy.com, where you can see me talk to famous people sometimes. Twitter, Instagram, @C+comedy. Be on Twitter, Instagram, @ChadBlackWhite. Like us on Facebook. Rate, review, subscribe to this show wherever you get your podcasts. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you. Enjoy the rest of your life.